전면대군 납시오!
To carve a hole in my all-seeing eye, then resurrect myself years after my demise. I'll be the blade that cuts the cables from your head. Fear nothing but embrace, drive you feel instead. I've had to reconcile the conflicts in my heart. These broken lights inside are tearing me apart. All iron mind commands the deeds I have to do. Black holes inside my soul are pulling me from you. Inside this place you're with her, unamused by my mistakes, the aches of having you to use. It's just a test night game, but a day you've reached the end. I'm told to kill you though, you were my only friend. I've had to reconcile the conflicts in my heart. These broken lights inside are tearing me apart. All iron mind commands the deeds I have to do. Black holes inside my soul are pulling me from you.
저분이야말로 사진계의 설민석이야.
팔을 이렇게 띄워볼까요? 아니 반대.
Hello, you've opened your eyes, but why won't you even look me in the eyes? What's wrong with you? You angrily tell me that I'm late. Well, I'm sorry, but I did my best and running at my fastest pace. My heart overtook my body as if to find you in this place. Seeing your head flowing there, your body's going next my very core. Wish I could breathe in the same dimension, I don't wanna let it go. Now that I am finally faced with the voice I've known for so long, I don't know what the words should be. The very first I say to you, beckon you 10 times until this day, been looking everywhere for you. I follow the sound of your innocent laughter, it guided me in the right way. Even if every piece of you disappeared and if it's scattered everywhere, no, I won't waver, I'll start back at one, look for you all over again. Or maybe instead I'll take the whole universe right back to zero again. Where should I start? How should I explain? Wanna tell you everything that happened while you were in long, long dream. I flew through dozens of skies to tell you adventures I've been through, hundreds of millions of light years worth. But now I'm here finally seeing you reflected in my eyes. I just wanna know you, play around and show you who it is that you can be. I just wanna love you every second of you right down to the day. Now that we have finally met many galaxies, and I don't know how to hold your hand so that I can break it. Beckon you 10 till this day, been looking everywhere for you. Oh, I love the sound of your unfettered voice and the shedding of tears you need this way. So tell me, who will ever gonna stop us on this eve of revolution? No more hesitation, I will put up a fight to stake my claim on your heart tonight. 'Cause you took away from me the way to give up so quickly and awkwardly.
저는 갤럭시 S20로 역사 자료사진을 찍고 있어요. 어떤 문화재들은 가까이
voices speak at night could ever reach the very edge of this world and the time. Instead of fading into air and dust, then what will the words could ever be? Farthest words from probably. Let's make a promise that will never fade. Let's say it together and count to three. Some part of every wish will be heard, but lately I lost sight of the truth.
truth in those words. I can't even remember when I gave up believing what could have been the reason. At the very moment that the rain will stop, in the place rainbow born and dies, and where the end of this life lies, I always been insisting there was something that I'm longing for. One day I'll reach the mountains out, explored unprecedented. Take me high, life, love, we've yet to discover, and give a kiss to time. The bloody moon just keeps on teasing me, but I will keep on looking at you deep. Let's make a sign for when we say nice to meet you again. I'm on my way to you, chasing after your name.
야, 나도 원래는 서핑 좋아하지. 뭔지 알지? 앵텐, 개별. 나는 이제 반백, 사도타로 왔어. Let's get it. 사진 찍어. 화면 자체가 안 흔들리는데? 되게 바삭해. 고기.
갤럭시 S20 5G 오중쇼과 떠나는 사진 맛집 줄사 체크. Get it?
Yo, get it. 오중석 작가 우리나라에서 최고. 일단 나 사진 배우러 왔어. 사진.
서핑 같은 익스트림 스포츠 좋아해요.
오, 서핑은 78년도?
78년도.
이빨 닦는 거랑 똑같아. 잊어먹지 못하지.
서핑할 때 그러면은 어떤 사진을?
저는 서핑이 나한테 자유와 나의 표현이거든. 그런 거를 많이 이제 캡처하고 싶은 거죠. 액션샷가 많은데 멀잖아. 확대시켜서 하면 되게 콩알 새끼들. 아니,
제가 한번 고화질 사진을 찍어서 많은 확대를 했는데도 사진이 깨지지를 않죠.
와, 짱인데?
사실은 오늘 사진을 배우고 싶다고 한 팀이 한 팀이 더 있어요. 근데 그분들은 서핑을 하시는 분들이세요. 양양에서.
양양?
예.
Yo, 양양 is my second home.
그럼 오늘 시간 괜찮으시면 양양으로 한번.
지금? 드디어 이제 양양.
예, 여기 양양입니다.
뭐 아까 뭐 친구들 만난 데는 4명밖에 없는 저분들.
맞는지 한번 확인해 볼게요. 저분들 맞는 것 같아요.
와, 짱!
여기는 펌서프 분들.
야, 진짜 이렇게 추운 날씨에도 아무리 봄이라도 대단해.
간편하게 찍는 방법이 어떻게 없을까 해서 S20 플러스의 슈퍼스테디라는 기능을 60도까지 이렇게 흔들리는 걸 보정을 해줘요. 짐벌 필요 없이.
우리 그럼 Let's get it! 액션!
움직임이 많은 상황에서도 흔들림 없이 찍을 수 있거든요.
예! 야! 찍었어.
네, 잘 찍었는데요?
진짜 이거 스테디 캠이야. 슈퍼 스테디.
그래서 한 가지 팁을 좀 드리자면 스토퍼 놀란 감독이 로우 앵글에서 같이 뛰면서
옛날에 스케이트보드 탈 때도
예.
카메라를 그 당시엔 비디오 카메라 8mm잖아. 앵텐, 개별. 나는 이제 반백.
S20 플러스에는 8K로 영상을 찍을 수가 있어요. 동영상을 재생 중에 이 왼쪽 상단에 있는 캡처 버튼을 누르면 3,300만 화소의 사진이
진짜
캡처가
정리해 보는데. 와, 이거 진짜 짱이다. 이거 하나 진짜 좋은 것 같아.
그 반드시
이건 뭐 근데 되게 너무 쉬운데? 사진 작가님 같은 사람이 이제 필요 없어지는 거. 작가 완전 멋있었어, 완전. 딱 보면은 뭔가 다 한 명씩의 자기의 그 분위기가 있죠.
그리고 진짜 잘 나왔어요. S20 플러스의 싱글 테이크라는 기능인데 최대 10장의 사진과 4개의 동영상을 추천해줘요.
완전 멋있었어, 완전. 갤럭시 S20 플러스. 대박!
인생 개만도 못한 것이 노비의 생 사는 것이 전쟁 민초의 희생 내 삶은 날개가 부러진 새 쫓겨 쫓기는 게 우리 인생 개만도 못한 것이 노비의 생 사는 것이 전쟁 민초의 희생 내 삶은 날개가 부러진 새 철새도 둥지가 있을진데 짐승에게 굴 또한 있을 텐데 연자의 굴레 낙인과 족쇄 난 홀로 집없이 떠도는 게 구멍난 하늘엔 비가 또새 묻은 내 신세는 도발 묶인 채 사냥터에 불어놓은 사냥과 같아 벌어진 죽음은 걸음이 돼 빙초 여자라라 너도 비나라라 이승에서 못 이룬 꿈 저승길에 올라라 흙이 되어 다시 피는 꽃이 되거나 빙초 여자라라 너도 비나라라 옥동이를 비틀어야 하늘을 보는 동민의 허를 담아 범새 울거라 불승과 배승 누구 하나 믿을 자 없는 이 땅을 집신 한결내에 의지하며 신을 찾아 기도하나 정신형을 선고받은 종놈이 믿을 자는 오직 내 자신 죄는 시여 내게 말해주오 정산 아래 내가 놓을 곳을 말이오 말 밟고 뛰는 소리 고요를 깨면 뒤를 돌아보고 또 없이 나는 뛴다오 있는 힘껏 땅을 차는 내 두 발로 고향 땅을 도망친다 내 두 팔로 구슬이라 세상에를 넘어 발로 전진하며 싸우리라 이 총칼로 소되지만 또 못한 노비의 삶도 천대마다 존경받은 인간의 상도 신라 같은 꿈이 있어 살았노라 가족 같은 것이 있어 웃었노라 사람 함께 살고파 인간 함께 살고파 한자가 남짓한 지팡이를 유산으로 남긴 자는 나뿐이요 사람 함께 살고파 인간 함께 살고파 네가 먹던 사람 중은 나의 넋이요 빌려 쓰는 목적이는 내가 아니요 쫓겨 쫓기는 게 우리 인생 개만도 못한 것이 노비의 생 사는 것이 전쟁 민초의 희생 내 삶은 날개가 부러진 새 쫓겨 쫓기는 게 우리 인생 개만도 못한 것이 노비의 생 사는 것이 전쟁 민초의 희생 내 삶은 날개가 부러진 새
저는 갤럭시 S20 울트라로 아쿠아리움 영상을
Who's hungry? Hello, it's me, Bro Got My Beat. Back again with a brand new beat. It's time to eat. I'm not petite, so let me tell y'all fools how to make grilled cheese. I eat grilled cheese every day, so listen to what I say. I think you should make grilled cheese this way. See, these grilled cheeses I'm dropping are hard, stopping, charred, topping. And these are the 11 steps that you should be copying. Step 1, go to the supermarket, bring a parka and a flashlight if it's dark. Another thing you gotta do is grab a carton and it's on to step 2. Yo, here's what you do. Grab a loaf, a sourdough. These are the breads, gotta go. Wouldn't matter if these breads were free. Sourdough for me, now it's on to step 3. Grab some cheese, but there's a lot of cheese. Cheese, standing between these sure ain't a breeze. Listen up, and I'll make it easy. Watch it, I'll show you where the best cheese be. This is the cheese that I love the most. If you don't have cheese, you just make it toast. Step 4, grab some butter, this brand, or whatever, get another. Step 5, yellow mustard, just adjust your hand and thrust it toward the mustard, and now
Well, you're probably wondering why I gathered you all here. Let me take a moment and break it down. Arch feeling refined with criminal charm. He almost had the world within his palm. Stealing every bit of gold that you found. We foiled his plan and made him say dance. That was fractured in 3. We had to narrow right back from him. See, now he's back with a dastardly dream. It's been handcrafted and masterfully schemed with a bit of help from Madame Lazul. King Dog Blogger with candles and tools. After Dr. Boom will be packing the fuel. They're lifting up all the Agatha's tools. Are they gonna rob all the dollar jewels? Maybe 3 or more sinners trapped in a tomb. What task have they put the lackeys up to? I can guarantee it's a plan that is cruel. Bound to be riddles with Agatha's history. Unravel the mystery like Agatha Christie. Follow the path with the witch. Be down by the big trees. This is no challenge for me. It's as easy as stabbing a stick in a barrel of fish and then catching a snapper to slap on a dish. I'm lighting the path with candlesticks. The kobolds grab a nick. Mechanical animals snap and pinch. The doctor's back, he's mad and pissed. We smashed his lab and trashed his crib. He'd love to see us blast a bit. Though he may not be the cleverest one, he's definitely noticed his treasure is gone. The plunger smell of a dungeon dweller is shrieking the streets. Better run to the cellar. So clear the mist and hear the whispers. Take the gift, don't fear the mistress. Horrors told from the gods of old could aid them towards their common goal. Increase the defense of the violet hold with mages to spray at them icy cold. Watch your back, you could be betrayed by a troll. The plot is thick, let your eyes behold.
Breathe that compels some creatures from hell. You might need a dispel. Eagle EVIL dropping down from the sky. From the shadows we rise, raiding the citadel. League of EVIL. We've always dreamed of a victory, but our heroes always intervened. Full of greed that compels some creatures from hell. You might need a dispel. League of EVIL dropping down from the sky. From the shadows we rise, raiding the citadel. League of EVIL. Full of greed that compels some creatures from hell. You might need a dispel. League of EVIL dropping down from the sky. From the shadows we rise, raiding the citadel. League of EVIL.
Down from the sky, shadows we rise, the citadel, EVIL.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there.
Democracy.
Hello there. Another happy landing. Hello there.
Democracy.
Hello there. Hello there.
Democracy.
Hello there. Another happy landing. Hello there.
Democracy.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Hello there.
High ground.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Another happy landing. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Another happy landing. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. General Kenobi. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there.
What's this? A news release. The legendary series you missed for years comes back, get ready for some action. There's no bugs in here, smoke clips right there. The fans fix it anyway, so we don't care. They'll patch it through microtransactions. So enjoy your pretty nylon bag. Oh, and boy, stop shitting on our swag. You're not getting any money back. You knew this was a one-way wacky track. Dish it up and have your nylon bag. Coming up when it was real drag. Overseas was in the do not take, so you're not getting your money back. It just works, it last time. It shows people buy money flows. It just works. It just works, overpriced, open words, earnings rise, take my word. It just works. It just works. It just works. It just works. Cutting edge as far as I can tell. The creation engine changed it very well. We're not planning on doing anything about it. Skyrim's a limit, don't deny it. See this mountain, you can buy it in the DLC for the price of a real mountain. What's wrong with the train in place of your head? Come on, believe me, you see nothing yet. The battle spaceship with the dragon animation will become a new sensation on the internet. Just shut up, you miss you every time. Buying an armored horse is not a crime. Ideas can either shadow me will last or will Skyrim one more time at a time. It just works, little light stunning shows people my money flows. It just works. It just works, overpriced, open words, earnings rise, take my word. It just works. It just works, it just works. We don't want your machine. It's just everything we need. See the blues and use the shine. Love is making our sleep. We don't want your machine. It's just everything we need. See the blues and use the shine. Love is making our sleep. Now listen up. Welcome to the place where eat like waves. There's 2.5 peasants with the same ugly face. You're not into small towns, check out big ass planes. 50 times the size of Skyrim's prices, standing for this cave. You see, we in Bethesda know exactly what you want. Hardcore gamers inspired us to improve shopping a lot. Now we shop with must be bought for an extra 10 spot. And saving now was a pay mod for just 20 a slot. You're never getting bored with infinite quests. So every vagabond to put you to the test. Maybe richly awarded with infinite chests full of rusty swords and used pregnancy tests. We got rid of skill trees, they were old and lame. We made the It's not easy having yourself a good time, greasing up those bets and betters, watching out they don't fall letter, fucking kiss you both at the same time. Smells like something I've forgotten, curled up tight and now it's rotten. I'm not a gangster tonight, don't wanna be a bad guy, I'm just a loner baby, and now you got in my way. I can't decide whether you should live or die, or you'll probably go to heaven. Please don't hang your head and cry, no wonder why my heart feels dead inside. It's cold and hard and petrified, lock the doors and close the blinds, we're going for a ride. It's a bitch convincing people to like you. If I stop now, call me a quitter. Lies were cats, you'd be a litter. Pleasing everyone isn't like you. Dancing jigs until I'm crippled, slut and drinks I won't get pickled. I've got to hand it to you, you play for all the same rules. It takes the truth to fool me, and now you made me angry. I can't decide whether you should live or die, or you'll probably go to heaven. Please don't hang your head and cry, no wonder why my heart feels dead inside. It's cold and hard and petrified, lock the doors and close the blinds, we're going for a ride. Oh, I could throw you in the lake, I'll feed you poison birthday cake. I won't deny I'm gonna miss you when you're gone. Oh, I could bury you alive, but you might crawl out with a knife and kill me when I'm sleeping. That's why I can't decide whether you should live or die, or you'll probably go to heaven. Please don't hang your head and cry, no wonder why my heart feels dead inside. It's cold and hard and petrified, lock the doors and close the blinds, we're going for a ride.
First, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. Oh, ooh, the way that things have been. Oh, ooh. Second, don't you tell me what you think that I can be. I'm the one at the sail, I'm the master of my sea. Oh, ooh, the master of my sea. Oh, ooh. I was broken from a young age, taking my soak into the masses, writing my poems for the few that look at me, took at me, shook at me, feeling me, singing from heartache, from the pain, taking my message from the veins, speaking my lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the
swept away, I'm stolen. You're a cherry blossom, you're about to bloom. You look so pretty, but you're gone so soon.
아웃랜드, 거칠고 위험한 세계.
생존하는 자가 곧 강한 자인 곳. 이곳에 정의란 없다. 오직 절망과 어둠뿐.
하나, 니놈이 감히 내게 도전하겠다면 너희는 아직 준비가. 아니, 그런 말을 하려는 건 아니었다. 내가 대체 왜 널 가르쳤는지.
영웅들의 정원에 드리운 어느 그림자, 암흑보다 깊고 칠흑보다 어둡도다. 영겁의 족쇄에서 풀려난 어느 수감자, 제가 된 두 눈으로 미래를 보니라. 모두가 증오하는 배신자, 모두가 질타하는 구원자. 이루려던 사랑은 이룰 수가 없도다. 이 모두가 곧 나이니 내 이름을 똑똑히 새겨라. 절대로 볼 수 없을 거라 생각했던 이름을.
다들 내가 왜 모이라고 했는지 궁금하겠지. 바로 얘기해 줄 테니 잘 들으라고. 우린 착한 녀석들한테 호되게 당했지만 이젠 바뀔 거야. 우리 앞길을 막은 성가신 필멸자들이 마침내 고통받겠지. 나에게 아주 악하고 교활한 계획이 있으니 이로써 바랐던 우리 꿈은 이루어지겠지. 뭐? 이걸로 물인가? 훌로였던 우리. 그래. 그럼 뭉친다면 양쳐 가져가나? 더 크게.
뭘 원하는지 알아.
그래, 말해봐.
우리 모두가 다 엎어버린다.
너희의 욕심과 관심을 끌이은 뭐 바로 단란함을 빼앗는 것. 악의 연합이 되어
어둠이 밀려오네. 하늘을 뒤덮으며 고통의 참 모두가 외치길 어찌하오리까. 다문과 전당을 나선 4명의 구원자들, 모자와 채찍을 잡고 과거의 전설들 다시 모여내. 마법이 깃들은 괴물, 번화가의 미래의 부대 주술까지. 뜨거운 사막의 열기, 넘치는 자신감의 몸까지. 망설일 시간은 없어, 질 수는 없어, 주저할 순 없어. 지금이야 결전의 순간은 우리 연맹이 구할 거야.
하는지 알고 있겠지. Watch this!
Hello and welcome to the Ashes of Outland card reveal live stream, the work from home edition, and also the echo free edition this time around. We're leaving that to good old Jeff Kaplan and the Overwatch team. My name is Chris, and I'm a community manager here on the Hearthstone team, and I'm joined by content creator extraordinaire Kriparian and Hearthstone game designer Dean Ayala. Gentlemen, wish we could all be together, but we're here. How you doing?
Hey guys, how's it going? Kriparian here. We're doing good from home, responsibly revealing cards for you guys today.
Yep, I'm excited to be here. I get to hang around with my dogs all day, make some Hearthstone cards, reveal some Hearthstone cards, play some Hearthstone. So there's still a lot of Hearthstone going on, even though I'm here at home.
It's a lot of Hearthstone.
There is, yeah, it's a lot of Hearthstone.
Hey, that's good. Now, for the folks at home, we've got a lot to unpack here in the beginning. Before we unveil 40 brand new cards for this card reveal live stream, we continue to up the ante with more cards. I don't know how we could top that next time, but we'll see. So we've got the Year of the Phoenix, which is our brand new year that's coming. And with that, our first expansion with Ashes of Outland, and our first ever in the history of the game, brand new class with Demon Hunter. Krip and Dean, what can the folks at home expect from Demon Hunter and Ashes of Outland?
Demon Hunter, I mean, it's our new class. Like you said, our first new class. It's going to be pretty difficult to really understand exactly what's going to happen once it gets in players' hands, but that's really the fun of it, right? So you make something brand new, you give players a whole bunch of tools, and you guys are going to be able to figure it out all on your own. So we have Outcast, a new mechanic. We have our Prime Legendaries coming in, which are, once they die, they get shuffled into your deck, and they're super powerful. So there's a whole bunch of different stuff going on in Ashes of Outland, but I think the most exciting thing for people is the new class. It's Demon Hunter.
Yeah, when you guys launched the Demon Hunter, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe you guys went on the challenge of tackling on to create a new class. With Hearthstone, having so many expansions, how does Demon Hunter catch up? But then you started showing us more and more cards, and we're like, oh, that's how it's going to catch up. So we're going to see a lot of people playing Demon Hunters, I imagine, but it looks like a very versatile class to play, and I think we'll maybe learn a few different ways to play it, even still, on today's stream.
Yeah, I know when we revealed Kane's Sun Fury through the Raunchy video, everybody was pretty surprised to see Charge see a return here, especially with some of the other stuff that we talked about, which we'll get into here shortly with Hall of Fame. But Krip, did you have any thoughts on that card in particular?
That card is terrifying. Managed to try it a little bit, and it's one of those things where you do a double take. It's like, oh yeah, it has charge, it ignores taunt, okay. But then you play it, and everything ignores taunt. All of the other minions you control, your hero. You're playing Demon Hunter, so you have weapons, you have at least a hero power attack +1. It's one of those things where everyone is going to get savagely beaten at least once before they realize how the card works in full.
Hey, well, there you have it from Kriparian Extraordinaire. Now, real quick, before we dive into these 40 card reveals and the gameplay, Dean, Krip, and Chalky, who's also hanging out with us, they're going to take it away here in a second. But I wanted to talk through what it means for a new year for those at home who may not know what that typically means. Now, with a new year, we have sets that rotate out of Standard and rotate into Wild. And with this year, we have Witchwood, the Boomsday Project, and Rostakon's Rumble rotating out of Standard into Wild. Now, typically with that, we also have cards that go into what we call the Hall of Fame. Now, with the Hall of Fame, we do have a bunch of stuff. So we've got some fan favorites from the Hall of Fame that are going to be going away. We've got Leroy Jenkins and Mountain Giant that are going to be going into the Hall of Fame. We've got maybe a little bit more of a controversial minion in Mind Control Tech that's going to be going away, and then Acolyte of Pain and Spellbreaker. Now, we also are going to have a priest rework that's going to be launching. We're not going to talk too much about that today for time's sake, but if you did want to find out more details, you can actually go to the playhearthstone.com website and find out more. Now, I bet you all at home are probably wondering, when does all this stuff come out? So dates are pretty important, so we should probably talk about dates. So as you can tell on the screen, March 26th, which is tomorrow, we actually have the Hall of Fame and the Priest rework, and also, which is not listed here, Duplicate Protection launching tomorrow. So lots of big stuff coming tomorrow. April 1st is our revamp of our ranked system. Again, we haven't talked much about that, but if you want to find out more details, you can check that on our website. But that is going to be coming in with the new season. in the game. And then on April 2nd, we have our Demon Hunter Prologue that's going to be launching. That is actually a backstory into Illidan and how he became a Demon Hunter. There are 4 story-driven single-player missions that allow you to unlock Demon Hunter. And then on April 7th, that's when Ashes of Outland goes live along with Demon Hunter. So that's a barrage of stuff that I just gave you, a lot to unpack. So again, the date slide that you can see is going to be pretty crucial. So definitely keep an eye on all that stuff. But again, we're here to talk about brand new cards and the card reveals. So let's go ahead and kick it off to, Dean, Crip, and Chalky, because we got 40 cards to unveil. I'm going to give it off to them. So gentlemen, hope you have some fun with the gameplay, and I'll see you all real soon.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, so one thing that Chris didn't really emphasize as much as I think people really understand from a new launch, a new year, the fact that we cycle out of standard 3 expansions from the past, it's a massive change in how people play the game. In ranked mode, people are used to playing with, specific decks, and then a new expansion in the middle of the year comes out. A few of the decks change, there's a few new deck archetypes, but the first expansion of every year, knocking out 3 of the oldest expansion from standard, it's like 1 or 2 decks survive that, and the ones that kind of make it maybe are substantially different, and there's usually a lot of new decks and a lot of innovation that happens throughout this period. So it's quite a time to play Hearthstone, and it's where the hype is at its peak, and everyone's looking forward to it. So let's get started here and see what people might be playing in the coming months.
Yeah, I think for the first expansion of the new year, when set rotation is going on, it's actually the most challenging expansion for us to do balance testing on. Because for the second and third expansions, we have some idea of what people are playing from the first expansion and the second expansion. So we have a general idea of the meta and then how these new cards are going to impact the decks that people are already playing. And when set rotation happens, like you were saying, it's kind of a new world, so we don't really understand exactly what are the decks that are really powerful and popular. Because right now, basically all the really powerful and popular decks are losing at least some piece. It might be limited pieces, but in some cases those pieces are the linchpin of the entire deck. So during playtesting, it's really difficult for us to get it exactly right, and then you throw a new class on top of that, and my expectation is that players are going to find some pretty crazy stuff, and we'll see what we do as a result of that.
What is kind of your expectation of the new class? Like, how many different archetypes do you think will be pursued at least?
It depends on what you consider an archetype is, because I think that there's going to be different variations of the aggro sort of style of deck. I think Hunter is a pretty good example of, they have high hunter decks and they have a super face hunter deck, and then they have Dragon Hunter, which is kind of a mid-rangey sort of thing. But I think to most people, face hunter and Dragon Hunter are all pretty similar. Whereas Demon Hunter is going to have some very aggressive decks where they're going to be attacking your face a lot, and then they're going to have decks that are really token focused.
This game has started up here. We're
in it.
Warrior versus Mage, and oh, hold on! I know how to do this. Is this the right play? There we go. Armor up.
Am I seeing the same board? At first, I thought my clan was lagging behind. I was like, I don't see the play. I see it.
So,
classic.
Chalky's playing a mage deck with no minions. We saw a number of these cards revealed already. Look at that, reduce the cost of spells in your deck by 1. So presumably that's all of the cards.
Yes, that is all the cards. Presumably that is all of the cards, yeah.
And we're playing certainly a minion-heavy deck. Seeing as he's going to play reactively with spells, we just want to kind of just throw stuff out there. And probably the stuff we want to throw out there is the bigger stuff. So we're going to play the Overconfident Orc, which is a 3-cost 3/6 taunt until it gets damaged. And then it's a 1/6. But a 1/6 taunt for 3 is pretty good. We've seen Druid run that stat line in the past.
It's a pretty good turn to play it right now, too, because the mage is, is going to have to ping it if they really want to deal with the attack being granted, and pinging's not really something that is that exciting for mage this turn.
We have the Bone Chewer Raider. If he does damage it, we can kind of counter the board pretty nicely. You discovered a Magic Dart Frog. I imagine that's a pretty powerful card here.
When you have a deck full of spells, it can be pretty powerful. But here, the Bone Chewer Raider is probably going to be a pretty good play.
Easy. So if there is a damage minion, we get +1/+1 and rush.
Yeah, Overconfident Orc and Bone Chewer Minion are they're best friends, right? So
there seems to be a bit of an upgrade. So this is a neutral card, the Overconfident Orc. This is playable by any class. And we have like the more overconfident Orc, the Ruststeed Raider. It's 5 for a 1/8, but it is temporarily a 5/8, and it has Rush. The fact that it has Rush, you get that huge attack. It resembles some of the warrior options for kind of like board stabilization removal that we've seen. We'll see how it works here. Now, in terms of secrets, I don't know all the cards in this expansion quite yet. I literally don't know what to play around right now. I guess we'll see there are new ones for this turn.
Rusty Raider is actually sort of interesting. It's pretty similar to Militia Commander, a card that warriors played from time to time. It came from the Witchwood, but Rusty Raider also has taunt. So in addition to a lot of things that go with like you want your minions damaged and you want some single target removal, a lot of times you want taunt minions too because you have ways to buff them in your hand.
So Flame Ward, after your minion attacks here, deal 3 damage to all minions. That's a new card, right? Otherwise, I would have played around that like a professional Hearthstone player.
Right, yeah, you would have played around it. There's a lot of new cards here. I'll give you a break. Yeah, you have to read all the cards. You can't play perfect.
Bone Chewer Vanguard, another neutral, another taunt, 7 for a 4/10, and when this takes damage, get +2 attack.
It's not bad, right? Like that's like there's a lot of cards like this in Hearthstone. Like back in the day, people would play Ancient of War. It's 5/10 taunt. This is probably better than that on average. Not a lot of people are playing Ancient of War anymore, but this is quite a bit more powerful than that I would say. Especially if you're doing taunt related things. Like our deck is for sure doing some taunt related things. Like we can see a whole bunch of taunt cards here. It's probably going to be ways to take advantage of that.
Oh, that's not good.
No, definitely not.
Okay, well, that might be a card the mage would want to run if he could play minions, but
yeah. So we did it for him because his deck's filled with spells, and we made his spells really good.
This is a Lackey nerf. Lackey nerf. What is this?
On average, you don't really mind having that.
He's throwing something at face. Deep Freeze.
Deep Freeze.
2 water elementals. So this card cost 8, I guess, and he discounted it by 1.
Correct.
Okay, that's pretty powerful.
They used to freeze everything, and that was a little bit too powerful. We nerfed that one pretty early on. The mage already has like a bunch of ways to freeze, and freeze is like a critical mass thing. So once you get enough freeze, then you kind of just freeze your opponent forever. So they're going to be pretty powerful. 4 damage there.
Yeah, we're using it to our advantage now. Let's use this temporary attack. Let's keep the taunts active because perhaps we have some way to buff them while they're in play. I'm not sure. Probably not, but I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what the deck contains.
Yeah, a lot of warriors taunt buffing stuff is hand buffing specifically, but it's okay because you can play all that stuff out. Mage is getting to a point where it's got to be able to do everything. We've got a couple big minions to back it up.
Man, I kind of want to play this mage deck, to be honest. Like, discounting your whole deck that is entirely spells. You're running like almost all the secrets, and you have minion generation. That's pretty crazy. Okay, Frost Nova, that's fine. So freeze doesn't stack. We're going to get to unfreeze those in the following turn. Not entirely sure what to play against here. Maybe I'll just play the Bone Chewer Vanguard.
Yeah, Bone Chewer is probably the scariest for him.
Yeah.
It
might be Mirror Entity though, but
it wasn't.
Nope. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, Bone Chewer is pretty good if like tries to do removal like Flame Strike or Blizzard.
Flame Strike hits for 8, so it's.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Flame Strike hitting
not the best.
8. That's true. But just think, our guy would get 6/2. Oh wow, Fireball's gonna be pretty good versus that. I wonder if he just leaves up our minion just for the rest of the game.
Oh god, how is this the game where we highlight new cards? We're playing the deck with minions against the deck of all spells, and the first random interaction gives us the Moarg Artificer.
Moarg Artificer is a new card. We're pretty effectively showing it off, I would say.
Okay. Well, let's hope we have more weapons.
Cash, new card.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking, like, if I play the 2 more, and if he has any kind of board clear, it becomes a problem, right? So I think I actually just want to draw a weapon. Oh.
Bulwark of Azimuth. Like, wait, we saw that one a little bit earlier in the reveal season, but it's definitely an exciting one.
Do we want to kill the turtle? I think maybe not. Maybe we'll just use the weapons to our advantage.
Yeah, Mage doesn't have a lot of ways to heal, so we can get through at some point. Bulwark is... it's usually used for defense, but we might be smashing him in the face with it here.
I don't know what you're talking about. What I see here is a pyroblast. It's not about taking damage. It's 2x5.
Yeah, Bulwark is good and bad versus Mage.
Wow!
Oh my gosh.
That's insane!
Those are pretty good, yeah.
Gain armor equal to this minion's attack on the death rattle. It's a taunt and it's a mech, but the fact that it's a mech is not that relevant in the standard meta because Boomsday's rotating out, which is where the core, at least defensive side of warrior mechs reside.
Yeah, a lot of the mech build-around stuff has gone away from Boomsday, but mechs are something that we bring around from time to time, so I can definitely see mechs coming back and mech being relevant again at some point.
Let's see how this works here. Okay. I'm gonna get a lackey. Discover a dragon. Okay, and I guess I'll attack face. No, there's already been 2 flame wards. I don't think he can create one, can he? I'm not sure.
I don't think he's played anything to create one yet.
Okay.
Draw last.
No new dragons? Okay, I guess we'll settle for Onyxia.
Onyxia's not
We'll
bad.
settle.
Our Millarog Artificer is gone now, so with the... Whoa.
Yeah. We don't have to dread taking double spell damage here. That's a really good thing.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to most this expansion? Are you going to be playing a bunch of Demon Hunter, or are you going to be trying some of the other stuff first?
I feel like Demon Hunter has these kind of established archetypes, but I think the fun for me is going to come from trying to figure out what's in between them. So it's clear that there is like an aggro Demon Hunter. It's clear that there is like an aggressive but more hybridized Demon Hunter that plays aggro but wins off of value from minions dying. And then there's like the classic like mid-range Demon Hunter. And then there is like the very, very big Demon Hunter. For me, the fun is probably going to come from trying to bridge 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 of those archetypes together. I don't know, just kind of like the hipster decks. I feel like for every 10 of those you try, one of them ends up being a very good deck.
It's Evocation.
Yep.
Evocation is a pretty good card. People have been talking a lot about Evocation.
I imagine it is. I mean, we saw he was on 3 cards just there, so he was kind of struggling for value. If you're running a deck with entirely... Wow. If you're running a deck with entirely spells, if you're not particularly lucky off of the minion generators that you have, you will need some extra juice like this.
Yeah, a lot of times the decks that are all spells, the spells that are the most important that make the deck work are the spells that can generate minions. That's true in Hunter as well.
Mm-hmm. So that is an evocation secret. We might have to play around the big AoE once again.
Bladestorm is a pretty interesting AoE. I could see Warriors playing a lot of this in the next coming couple of years. It plays a little bit like Defile. It's like it's an AoE that can potentially get a ton of value, but you have to play it correctly.
Okay, try to play around a few secrets there. I don't know if I did well. Okay, so
you can play around. Have you played around Entity yet?
Okay, so let's do that to play around Mirror Entity.
Okay, we got the Entity, so that's good.
And then we'll play the Rush. Oh, I should have probably killed that first. Because I don't know if there's like on-death triggers. Okay, whatever. Basically, I was thinking that might be another Flame AoE, so if I get both of those to 3 and I get hit with it, I can then clear both of his guys with Blade Storm before playing the Brute. That was kind of the idea there.
Yeah.
It's just tough to play around secrets when you don't know all of the cards in the upcoming expansion.
That's true.
Let alone evocation secrets. Alright. Deep Freeze again.
Another Deep Freeze.
So Water Elemental is a card that's kind of a staple in like the new player arsenal. Like I think when you just start up Hearthstone for the first time with no cards, that is just about the best of them.
Yeah.
There's the just logged in for the first time best card in the game. I'm guessing that whatever he has is probably a spell-based trigger effect.
Yeah, because there we could have just played Blade Storm and killed both of his guys. But you think?
Well, we would have gotten our Brute to 1. I think 6 damage is kind of a big deal here.
Just don't know, like when it's like you said, when a deck has all minions or all spells, it's kind of hard for him to like ever have anything on board if we just kill off the few minions that he has.
Yeah.
But I'd say we're still in a pretty decent place because Mage is running out of resources here.
Four cost. Okay, let's think. So what I can do is that, and then Blade Storm that to 1. And then basically use 2 charges to kill it. Bulwark of Azeroth. Okay. Might be a bit tricky. He's also on 9 cards, and we have armor up, so maybe he just runs out of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's our plan, because he's always got his spells, so he's probably got tons of ways to remove our stuff.
Ooh, that's a good card when you're running out of stuff.
That's pretty good, yeah, because we shuffle the big one in. Yeah,
I want to play this out because I don't want him to like copy it or anything like that. I don't want to deal with his low card deck getting additional Kargath Blade Fist Kargath primes.
Yeah, I wonder like if you have a deck full of spells, like does Polymorph make the cut into your deck at that point? Because you're getting pretty low on all your options.
Oh, there you go. That's a second font of power. Unless he's capable of generating further font of powers, this might be the last push for minions on the board.
Manwyrm's not. These are not the minions that he probably wanted.
No, no, they're not.
Also, not the best.
6 cards left. That's fine. We're good with that.
Yeah, our stuff is just too big at this point. No secret. That's rough. He's running out of stuff. I think maybe this is not the best matchup for our mage friend, considering limited amount of power output in that deck. It seems like he even had an Antonitis as well, which is like pretty high damage.
RNG Antonitis and RNG. Our stuff takes double damage from spells. Still, though, I want to play that mage deck.
Yeah.
I'm confident that if I play it, I'll just be way luckier than that.
Way luckier. Okay, I thought you were going to say more skilled, but I don't know if
that's what I meant. Yes.
I
Thank
see.
you for correcting me.
This is the big power turn for Major.
It is actually. If we draw badly enough, he might actually take hold of this game.
Ooh, that was not the bad draw that Chalky was looking for.
So it's a 7/7 taunt, and when it dies, we get a 7/7 taunt.
That is correct. So it is a 14/14 taunt.
Seems pretty good, unless he is in fact running polymorph.
Yeah, I think he would have polymorphed Kargath if that was the case. So I don't know, Pex's Blast. Pex's Blast is pretty good in this deck. It's probably one of the cards that makes the deck work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're
going to get through them.
Able to get through it.
And the Armageddon doesn't do too favorably against that, but it does buy us a turn at least. Oh. Have another.
Yeah, but unless he draws something, he's not really going to effectively get through this very well.
To play big stuff constantly, deck type does never really fare too well, but when everything is big and also has taunt, you kind of have to wonder. Might actually do just fine.
It's pretty good, but it's honestly like our guy is a little bit too big. Okay, so he's able to get through it again. That was a lot of resources to get through our one card, but made it through.
But you got through it. What? All right, here we go.
Not great.
We don't have a damage minion.
I wonder if she's just played both anyway.
I think I should. I think that's how we actually just get back onto the board, or attempt to anyway.
Yeah, because if he doesn't draw anything here, then our minion's still pretty awkward for him to get through.
So the good news of this match is I believe the likelihood that we go through every single card of both decks is relatively high, so we won't have to spend time in between this game and the next to see what's actually in the deck.
That's true, yeah. That makes it even easier.
Oh, okay.
That's not quite as good in this situation.
No, I'm gonna save it. I think it's better if I don't play it this turn. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's better if you save it.
We have Kargath Prime in here somewhere, so I mean he has mostly reactive cards and a 4/1 with one card left in his deck. I think we have enough. Actually, can he even do anything with that? Oh, well, if he keeps discovering 7 more of those, he can.
Yeah. Oh, this could be Entity. I guess if it was Entity, we would just trade straight in with our Kargath when we drew it, and it'd be okay.
Okay, it's gonna be okay. Yes!
That was a pretty great card to draw in a situation like this. Conjured Mirage. Probably not Conjured Mirage. Probably, it's gotta be the Safeguard. Gotta be the Safeguard in this situation. I guess Conjured gets you around Fatigue, I suppose, but
yeah,
can't be that good.
He can't get around Fatigue, he's only got one card.
I guess that's true, because if he can't deal with it, then he just dies to Fatigue no matter what. That would have been true with like Safeguard or whatever anyway.
There you go. Nothing left.
Alright, so
we just keep playing that forever. See, he's done! We just sealed a deal with Conjured Mirage. That's a world first.
I'm hearing from Chris we can just roll into our next game because it seems like we revealed all the cards in the matchup.
Yeah, alright, so what's next? We playing Priest? Let's go Priest.
Yeah, Priest is next.
Let's see the new face of Priest and hopefully some new cards as well.
There are a bunch of new cards in this deck, just like there's a bunch of new cards in Warrior deck. We have Madame Azul versus Sylvanas, a little off meta, Priest and Hunter.
Alright, so we have more Orc dudes from Outland. Dragonmaw Overseer. At the end of your turn, give another friendly minion +2/+2. He costs 3 though, so it's kind of fair if you give him like 1 turn. We have the Dormant Taunt. I think we're going to want to keep that because it's going to wake up, and then we want to play the Overseer to buff it up. And the Dragonmaw Sentinel. If you're holding a dragon, get 1 attack and lifesteal. I kind of want to keep all of this and just be hopeful that we get a dragon.
I think that's not super unreasonable. We're gonna have the coin, so we don't like have anything to do really on the second turn, yeah. Because we can coin out the Overseer, but the Homunculus won't be awake yet.
Well, we'll see. Okay. I mean, I think if he plays nothing, we just dunk on Overseer.
Yeah. What we really want is
Sentinel's not too bad. Like a 1/4 on 2, it holds its own. Oh, that's a problem.
That is a little bit of a problem. Well, we got the dragon, so that's great.
What dragon did we get? Oh, the Aeon Reaver, okay.
Yeah, it's great for next turn too, because if we can't kill it for whatever reason, that's Scale Rider for it.
Mm-hmm. So this will wake up next turn at the start of the turn, but we won't be able to attack with it right away, I believe. It still has to follow the slowness, the sleep.
Yeah, 1 mana T5 is pretty good. It's good with just buff cards in general too. Because even though you're not going to be able to attack with it for quite some time, you can guarantee that you have, something alive on your turn, which is pretty nice.
A 3/3 copy. Interesting.
Which is pretty good.
Oh, right. I just said that. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
You meant to pre-buff that, right? Like,
yes.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's fine. I mean,
that's
what
okay.
removal options do hunters have anyway, right?
I mean, they have Deadly Shot, but Deadly Shot's not that great here.
They have Scrap Shot. Deal
Scrap
3
Shot's
damage.
interesting.
Give a random beast in your hand +3/+3. All this beast buffing is going to work out just fine when we slam an Aeon Reaver on it.
Yeah, there's Psych Split, so you can get another copy of that guy, but I think that...
Now, we want to buff something like crazy, and then we want to Psych Split it.
Yep, that's the idea. So if anything lives for any amount of time, we're going to like get something pretty huge on board. Like that. That is huge.
Oh. That's scary. Okay.
Okay, so we'll be able to kill it.
So, if I coin the Aeon Reaver to kill that, what's the likelihood that this one exactly dies? It needs to get hit 4 times with 3 targets. Because I want this to ideally absorb some hits and then trade there to heal me back up, right? I'm feeling lucky. Let's go.
I don't know how this is going to work, but yeah, it's pretty unlikely.
Execution.
Great. Yeah, that was a lot of risk to save a little health.
There's a lot of health. What do you mean? We'd have like almost nothing on the board, and we hit twice and not get the lifesteal after. It's like 10 health.
Now,
discover a spell. Ooh,
it's pretty good actually. There's a lot of stuff that plays off as like casting spells, especially like in the future as well. For something that we like to do for priest is after you cast a spell, you get a bonus, or after you cast like cards like Lyra and stuff in the past. So I think just having a baseline of low cost spells that are pretty useful is just something that's going to be useful in priest for a long time.
So what I'm doing here is I'm imagining he's not going to kill this, so I'm gonna Psych Split that next turn.
Yeah.
That's the idea anyway. We'll have to see how this theory plays out.
Of the new cards that you've seen so far, which are the ones that you're excited about?
The Demon Hunter ones.
The Demon Hunter
Most of them, in fact.
Yeah.
I feel like the Demon Hunter gets insanely aggressive dormant cards, and that lets you have like crazy swing turns, but they're turns you have to plan for 2 turns in advance, and that's just a really cool mechanic to me.
Yeah, I think just in general, like if you're playing something that's like very, very heavily aggressive, that same thing to take a couple turns off. That's not exactly what aggressive decks want to do. But there's a huge power spike you get for it, like you said. So it's kind of a trade-off.
I wonder if I should kill that or the High Main. I'm not sure. I kind of want to go for the High Main.
Yeah, if you kill the other thing, the High Main just trades in like basically
fire. Okay.
It's probably still Breath. Breath is pretty good here.
Yeah. I'm going to play this just to get ready for what I'll need to take care of his big beasts relatively soon. Hunter's just getting so many cards. Typically, you face a game against a Hunter like this, but they're usually out of stuff around now. This Hunter deck's still going. Oh, man. That's a big boy.
Really, any... Oh, that's also very large. Basically, any time that you have a Hunter deck that's doing hand buffing, Tundra Rhino is going to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. Is that a clue for next year's Hall of Fame session?
It could be. I mean, Tundra Rhino is always a card that it does some interesting stuff and creates some decks that really wouldn't otherwise exist. But at the same time, it can be pretty dangerous when you have cards that give all your other cards charge.
Yeah, I think so.
Like a king, you're ignoring some taunt, but it's not giving all your demons charge, Whereas, like, we're going to make beasts. We always want to make beasts. So, You kind of pinch yourself into a corner when everything just gets charged forever. But I think that this deck's fine with that. We kind of enjoyed how it plays out. I'm kind of wondering what's in his hands. He's got 7 mana left and 3 cards. And we're getting slow rolled.
I'm not sure what we're getting besides wrecked.
We are getting pretty wrecked.
Is this how you envision Priest playing in the upcoming expansion?
I think that Priest has a bunch of different options. I think some of like the spell flurry stuff where you're just playing a whole bunch of spells is going to be pretty powerful. Or the Imprisoned Homunculus is actually pretty good. But
it is very good. That's for sure.
We had a rough time here versus.
No, I'm just, obviously just choking. But
Necrant Slam.
Okay. I had a debate on this with my chat the other day. Does the initial attack of those kind of count towards the attack of the turn? Like, can they attack a second time with Rhino in play? Like, I kind of wish we wouldn't have died there to find out.
They cannot, because their attack has been taken up for this.
I see. Okay. All right. Well, we didn't get to see too much of those decks. That was a pretty fast zoo matchup. So maybe we can have a look and see what we've missed from either one of those decks. Certainly some very powerful early game and mid-range cards. And there's another one, Reliquary of Souls. It's 1-cost, 1/3, Lifesteal, Death Rattle. Shuffle the Prime into your deck.
Yeah, Reliquary of Souls is, it's 1 mana, 1/3, so already it's like pretty good with a variety of buff cards, and it's just kind of fine on its own. And then once you get the Prime out, then that can be especially powerful.
So it's Taunt, Lifesteal, and it's not the mechanic we've seen in the past with like the Fairy Dragon effect where you can't target it. That was kind of like a double-edged sword in Priest. I remember even from way back when we were playing the 4/6 Death Knight card that couldn't be targeted. It was one of the best arena cards at the time, but it was actually not good at all for Priest because while it would stabilize the board, you couldn't heal it and you just lose the board again. But this is not a double-edged sword. It's your opponent can't target it with spells or hero powers, but you can. And I think that is an effect that people will, at first, my guess, underestimate. That is a very powerful effect on a Taunt Lifesteal.
Yeah, a lot of times, like, these effects can be kind of frustrating when you're playing against them because it just keeps buffing them and you can't really interact with them in any way. But because you have to play Reliquary of Souls and then it has to die and then you have to redraw it later. It's so difficult to get yourself in that position. This is the kind of card that it's going to be really powerful, but in order to get it in the first place, you're going to have to jump through a couple of hoops.
All right, what else we got? Soul Mirror. So this is a new Priest legendary spell. 7-cost, summon copies of enemy minions. They attack their copies.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite cards, actually. It's like an interesting removal card for Priest.
This is like the Battlegrounds.
It is kind of like Battlegrounds, yeah. The Battlegrounds.
Is this a segue to get people to play Battlegrounds from normal Hearthstone?
It is not. I think it's just kind of an interesting card. I really like the art for this card as well. But for the most part, if there's cards that are really threatening that you're playing against, then this card's just going to kill it, right? Like anything that has high attack is generally just going to die. And then anything that has low attack, well, they're going to smash into each other, but they're going to continue to survive for you. So it's kind of interesting. Like whenever you play and it doesn't remove things, it can generate a board for you. So maybe you can pair this on turn 10 with like the 3 mana Breath of the Infinite, and you get a bunch of cards and you finish those off. But based on the state of the opposing player's board, this removal card just plays a lot differently game to game.
What I really like about this one is the fact that it's not one of those cards that's clearly really powerful and you just like start every single Priest deck by adding the card to the deck. So like you clearly can't play this in a Resurrect based deck. It's a very powerful board clear, which is probably the most important effect in a Res Priest. But you can't really do this because if you're adding like 5 or 6 zoo minions to your res pool, it's just not gonna work. So that's cool. It's a very powerful effect, but it has its cost.
Yeah, like I said, it just plays a lot differently in different metas. You can imagine like with you're playing Conjurers Calling on Mountain Giants, then it's going to kill all those and going to function as a removal card. And if you're playing it against like old school Q block where there's a bunch of Void Lords, well, they're going to smash into each other and you're going to get a bunch of Void Lords off of it. So it just plays a lot differently.
Cool. Skeletal Dragon. 7 cost, 4/9 taunt. At the end of your turn, add a dragon to your hand, presumably including itself in the card pool. So that can spiral out of control pretty nicely. The minion itself has very good stats for a priest minion. For priest minions, you're typically looking for just enough attack to deal with most things. And 4 is kind of that sweet spot because anything above it, not only do you have Shadow Word Death, but you have the mass Shadow Word Death new card that's being replaced.
Shadow Word Ruin. Yeah.
That's the one. There we go. You have Shadow Word Ruin now. So you really typically don't need more than 4 attack on priest, but you want taunts, and you want lots of health, and you want perpetual win conditions, and this seems to hit everything.
Yeah, priest has Anne Reaver, and they have Breath of the Infinite, and they have pieces, but what they're really looking for is that density of dragons to kind of get them over the hump in terms of just like being able to put enough powerful dragons in their deck in order for that deck to work. And I think Skeletal Dragon is definitely one of those cards. Like a 7-mana 4/9 taunt is going to protect you, and it's also going to generate a bunch of resources. And if you can't kill it the first turn, then it's just going to be one of those cards that generates you all the resources that you need just in one package.
Mm-hmm. I kind of see how this priest deck was actually supposed to win. We were supposed to get all of these new really powerful cards, but instead we drew stuff like Twilight Drakes when we had nothing left in our hand.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be about building your deck in the correct way, but also just like in most Hearthstone games, it's going to be about getting the right stuff at the right time and being able to make the right decision.
All right, what else we got? We got some 100 cards after this. Oh, we got a neutral card. It's a 6 cost 5/6. It's once again a dragon. So this year, the dragon's really rolling over into this year as well. There's tons of new dragons for a lot of the classes, it seems. This is Dragon Maw Sky Stalker, and the Death Rattle gets a 3/4 Dragon Rider. So it's kind of just like a strong body with an after effect. It's a card you'd maybe imagine like a zoo deck, but it costs 6. So it's, I don't know, it's a bit of a tricky card to place in a deck. I wonder which deck actually had this inclusion. Was it the Priest one, or was it the Hunter?
I imagine it was the Priest one, where the Priest has a bunch of cards that say like, hey, so it's going to have to fill its deck with dragons, and this is going to be one of those cards. It's a lot like Cairn, a lot like Savannah Highmane, just a little bit of a twist on it.
I guess that's true. I mean, I was kind of looking at it, it's like, okay, it's all right. But then when you compare it to Highmane, you have more favorable stats for a priest. You have the dragon tag, and the Death Rattle is about the same. Like, you'd rather have a bigger minion in one rather than 2 small tokens as a priest versus a hunter. So actually, this really is almost a neutral Highmane. This card is actually a lot stronger than it seems.
Like if you're taking advantage of the dragon effect on the card, then it can be powerful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
What's next? New cards.
Waste Warden, 5 cost 3/3 with a Battlecry effect of dealing 3 damage to a minion and all others of the same minion type.
So all those Shaman Totem decks destroyed. All of them are dead. All the totems just die immediately. Unless you cast Totemic Might or whatever.
Through a keen observation that I have about the last game that we played, our hunter opponent played only beasts. This would have been pretty good.
Yeah, it would have been pretty good, because it seems pretty narrow when you look at it. It's like, oh, well, it's only if they're playing all decks or all the same type. But it works pretty well, obviously, versus totems. It works pretty well versus beasts. At some point, we're going to be making elemental decks and making pirate decks. And there's a lot of these archetypes that show up and become powerful. And this could be an interesting removal for those types of decks.
Mm-hmm. What are you really looking for in terms of the quantity of cards hit with it? Like, obviously, if you hit 1, it's not that good. Obviously, you can hit 1, right? Like, it's 3 damage to a minion. Even if it has no type, you can still deal 3 damage to that minion, right? Yeah. So it's still always going to have some usefulness. In that regard, it's not great, but it's like playable. But if you hit 2 things, is that good enough? If you deal 3 to 2 things, 5 cost 3/3 body, it's like almost there, right? So you're probably looking to hit 3 things, and I guess we'll have to see what the meta will be like on whether that's something you could do relatively easily.
Yeah, I think if Token Druid ever becomes really popular and they're filling the board with treants, like that sort of stuff is going to be like I think the Murloc decks, and it kind of just depends on what people are playing.
Cool. What else we got? We really saw like very few cards from those decks, it seems. Oh, that's it on the list. All right.
All right.
Next match, I'm queuing up with Demon Hunter.
Oh, Demon Hunter, it's the thing that you're excited for, so get hyped.
Well, I don't know what's in this deck, though. I'm mostly excited for the big demons, the big dormant demon push. That's what I'm into.
Well, I don't want to set you up for disappointment or anything, but I'm not really sure exactly what this is. My first time seeing it. It's one of Chalky's creations, but it doesn't look like it has big demons in it.
Okay, so we got Chaos Strike, give your hero 2 attack and draw a card. That's probably pretty good if we're playing against the Rogue. Good chance the Rogue minions are pretty aggressive, so we can do something with that. The Raging Fell Screamer is actually one of my favorite cards in Demon Hunter across the board. It's not just that like the next demon you play costs 2 less. That effect rolls on to whatever turn it happens that you play your next demon. You can play a demon 10 turns later and it keeps the discount, or you can play a demon the very next turn, meaning that you can play a 7-drop on 5. So that's huge. So I'm gonna keep that, and I'm gonna fish for a demon that I can play early. Like, oh, okay.
I'm excited because I'm gonna hold both of them.
All right, check this out. Turn 1 hero power. Wow.
Yeah,
Such power.
Yeah, the rogue opponent on the other end is like, I can't do that. The next turn, he's got to wait an entire turn to do that.
Yes!
Jeweler Hanar. It's one of my
He's
favorite
not
cards.
prepared! The emote is there! Oh, man. Okay, what do we got? Okay, we got the Fell Summoner. So summon a random demon from your hand. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff that gets demons out in play, minus the demons. Okay.
Yeah, no demons yet.
No demons.
Shadow Jeweler Hanar is one of my favorite cards. It actually plays super, super well. It's kind of weird because normally you're used to seeing like Hunter and Mage Secrets is the powerful ones, but when you get cards off of Hanar, often what you're trying to look for is Paladin Secrets to kind of keep triggering what he's doing. So, and Paladin Secrets they're not really game swinging, but they can be just enough to keep Hanar alive and just keep going.
So I can get rid of him with the Immolation Aura and a regular attack. It's a Rogue Secret. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what all the Rogue Secrets are right now, so I don't know what will happen if I try to do that. What do you think? Is he a big enough threat to warrant an Immolation Aura?
I think you should probably attack first, because if you attack first and then don't get the attack in,
oh. Ow. Well, I can still kind of do that. I just have to commit to doing it again next turn. That seems kind of like a waste. But if I don't do that, I take 10 damage. I start the game at 13 health.
it seems not as good, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to take 10 damage.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to get rid of it, yeah?
Okay, I guess. The effect is cool. All right. Still. Not prepared. It's fine. We'll get a demon, and it'll all work out. Probably, maybe, hopefully. Oh, maybe 1 cost 3/1 stealth. Wow, that's insane. Okay, well, we definitely have to start immolating up here.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Spanish is pretty good, but it's not as good versus.
Okay, so that is a Rogue Secret. It might be the exact one that just triggered the previous turn where it popped something that cost, was it 2 more or something, or was it a random minion? I kind of glanced by that first secret that triggered.
Oh, Bamboozle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a random minion that costs 3 more.
3 more, okay.
Yeah, because Naga Sandwich costs 5 and Hanar costs 2.
Fine, let's discover a demon to see if it's actually worth playing those. Yeah. I don't know.
Is our friend Morg Artificer is back? We can take.
Yeah, I don't really know if I want to take him though.
It's maybe not that good. Cedar Overseer is kind of okay.
Yeah, we can play a Fell Screamer and the Satyr Overseer and attack next round.
Yeah, that's probably our best bet.
Yeah, fine. Let's try that. There we go. Let's see what he's got.
Burrowing
Scorpid.
Have we seen that card yet? I know, I played a ton of Burrowing Scorpid in playtesting.
Cool.
I kind of like the flavor of it. Just kills something and goes back under the sand.
So this is probably going to be when your thing is attacked, do stuff.
I don't know. Do we just want to go face?
I think so. I don't know if I want to play that. I probably want to play that. It's a bit too greedy not to.
Yeah. Kind of sucks because Pick Commander would be pretty good next turn, but it's not going to be that crazy. Like, you just need stuff on board at this point.
Oh, wait. Is that going to transform now? Okay, we have to kill that.
Wow.
We are pretty low right now.
Yeah, the old Bamboozle and No Sacrifice combo got you.
Yeah, can we, like, nerf that, please?
It's pretty good. I like Bamboozle. Bamboozle is one of those things that's going to make Demon Hunters take a lot of damage.
Oh, am I dead? Oh, I'm dead. Okay. I basically got the deck I was wanting to play, which was discounting and cheating out demons, and I just got my first big demon, and then he top decked Eviscerate after double bamboozling me.
Would you say that game you just got bamboozled? I think it's probably the...
I think that is a fair statement.
Yeah. You got Shadow Ruler Hennard. Like I said, Hennard is one of my favorite cards. It's going to do a lot of things like that. There's generally that deck doesn't play quite as aggressively, but I think Keaton was able to get you with a couple.
I didn't realize it'd be Noble Sacrifice into Bamboozle into taking 4 on a must-kill card.
Yes.
It did not work out too well. All right, what did we miss? I'm sure we missed something. I mean,
we definitely missed a few things there.
So. Oh, that's the card we needed. Taunt Lifesteal. Where was that?
Yeah, Taunt Lifesteal have been pretty good in that scenario. What do you think of this card? This card reads pretty insanely powerful, right?
I think it's pretty strong. I mean, people played Senjin up until about a couple of years ago, and Lifesteal is not a small effect, let alone in a class that uses its health so aggressively. Yeah. But I also want to point out just how good these decks are if we drew these cards. Like, wow, that would have been so good. If we stabilized with a card like exactly that one, we could have played that demon that was massive, had taunt, and constantly gets demons from our deck onto the board. Maybe next game. All right, what next? Cursed Vagrant. It's a rogue card. So it's 7 for a 7/5, and when it dies, you get a 7/5 with stealth. Wow. There's a card called Ravenholt Assassin. That's basically the death rattle effect of that card.
Ravenholt Assassin is so sad.
Is Ravenholt Assassin kind of like a trivia question now?
Ravenholt Assassin is maybe a little upset, by Cursed Vagrant, but there's room in Hearthstone to make more powerful cards than Ravenholt Assassin. Okay, so it's pretty much
class cards are supposed to be stronger than non-class cards. All right, so we know that much. It's fine. Sure. It's fine, but just to put it in some perspective, it's quite a strong card. It's quite a strong effect. Rogue finally gets to do sneaky things with stealth. I wonder how much more valuable board clears become as a result of that, right? I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Do we miss anything else? We did. Dirty Tricks. This is another rogue secret. So after your opponent casts a spell, draw 2 cards. So very likely your opponent is going to cast spells.
Yeah, they're absolutely going to cast a spell. Yeah. There's very few decks that don't have spells. Like in the case of the Mage deck, sometimes they only have spells.
I think that the drawback with this card is you typically want to draw cards last. That's kind of known as standard, Hearthstone proper play. So like you do what you can when you can, and then when you have nothing left, then you draw cards, right? That's generally the proper way to play Hearthstone. While drawing 2 cards for 2 is extremely good, while potentially bamboozling your opponent with a play of a rogue secret can make your opponent have a weak turn. I think the issue with this card is you'd kind of still have to play it as if it is a card draw card, So if you have nothing better to play, then you play this. But then your opponent might specifically not play a spell that turn, so you might have a really bad turn following this one. So while it seems really powerful, it's going to be a bit challenging. And it might have to tie into just how people can consistently play around Rogue Secrets to really gauge its power level.
Yeah, I think that like you're totally right in that you want to draw like as a last resort. But I think in secret circumstance, sometimes there's a reason to play secrets that are outside the actual text on the specific secret, where sometimes you have cards that say when you play a secret, deal some damage, or if you have a secret in play, do this special thing on some of the other secret build-around cards. So maybe you play it in circumstances where you don't even necessarily need the cards, but you just want a secret in play to take advantage of some other cards' effects, like Shatter's Jeweler Hanar, for example.
Yeah. All right. Are there any others we missed?
I think we're rolling into the next game. We have Warlock versus Shaman, where we're the Warlock in this circumstance.
This is the last deck on the list. All right, let's see it. So I believe there's going to be more cards being shown on the community pages. I think we're just seeing 40, which is the majority of the cards that are left to be seen. But I think there's still going to be a few sneak peeks after this, so we're not quite going to see all of the cards left to be revealed in this game, but maybe the good ones at least. All right, so this is not a new deck right now. So here's what I'm thinking. We keep the Flame Imp because we want to be winning, because if we're winning, we can then draw the game to a point where we see all the cards being played.
Stall for new cards at that point.
Exactly. But the other cards are not new, so we want to see some of the new cards right away. So we're going to keep the Flame Imp and just, forget Knife Juggler. It's 2020. All right, Knife Juggler's had its day. All right. Okay, what do we got? We got one of the cards in the upcoming expansion, Soulbound Ash Tongue. When this minion takes damage, also deal that amount to your hero. Well, it doesn't seem good, but then my opponent just played a just recently unnerfed Sludge Slurper. So I guess we'll do that.
2-1. Yeah, 1-4s are usually pretty good against 2-1s. So I think we're winning so far.
Yeah, I think we want to stabilize and maybe save the coin for the Faceless Corruptor to take the push.
I'm really appreciating these off-meta heroes.
It's a 4-cost. What's that?
Sorry, go ahead. Let's talk about the new cards. I was admiring
Yes, new cards. Oh, more new cards. Okay, your demons cost 1 less. Death Rattle, shuffle Kenrithod Prime into your deck. So we can play the Flame Imp for free. The Nightshade is a 4/5/5 rush, and the Battlecry discard your highest cost card. Now, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, Kenrithod is one of the cards that is a prime, but it's just pretty good on its own. Like you don't really need to shuffle in and draw the next piece in order for that card to get a ton of value. Like this is a pretty great turn for us there.
I don't know if do I want to kind of save the Faceless Corruptor or just like dunk everything? I think maybe I want to dunk everything. Because he's overloaded for 1, he only has 2 mana right now, and 2 mana he can't do much to affect that board, I think. I imagine he's going to kill our legendary card here. Freeze and Invoke. Wow, that is a pretty powerful turn.
We're playing against some Galakrond Shaman.
Let's see. So the upgraded Prime here, it's an 8 for a 7/6, and the Battlecry summons 3 friendly demons that died this game. That does not seem like a very powerful effect when most of our demons are pretty small, but maybe they're not. Maybe it's just Flame Imp. Maybe the rest of our demons are like Nightshade level. We'll have to see, I guess.
Yeah, I mean the card on its own is just an 8-mana 7/6 that summons 3 bodies. So even if the demons are relatively small, then you're in an okay space.
So a new spell here is Serpent Shrine Portal. It's a 3-cost Shaman spell. Deal 3 damage and summon a random 3-cost minion with Overload 1.
Pretty similar to the portals of old from, I think, Karazhan, like Firelands Portal. Now we have Serpent Shrine Portal over here.
I'm going to try to just push here. If he's constantly trying to beat us on the board, I want to just push back as hard as I can.
Yeah, you're going to get some value from Expired Merchant here as well, assuming your opponent doesn't have like an Earth Shock or something.
Okay. When you play or discard this, draw 3 cards. Okay, let's draw 3 cards.
That's pretty good.
After your hero takes damage, refresh 2 mana crystal. Wow!
Yeah, this is going to be one of those cards that people look at Darkblade, and I think the immediate thing, at least from the high-level players, is, okay, well, how can I take advantage of Darkblade in order to, kill my opponent in 1 turn through some super insane combo?
Or just hero power.
Or just hero power, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I said super high-level players, so for you, you might just be thinking of hero powering.
Okay. That is a little unfair, because we're going to discard that again.
And you're just going to have a ton of them. You're going to have 2 more in your hand as well.
Okay.
So this was the version of that card
pretty
that is
good.
particularly really good, yeah.
The Dormant Imp, when it wakes up, give all your minions in your hand +2/+2. That seems a bit difficult to time, but it's powerful if you can time it properly. It's kind of those big risk-reward cards. Oh, okay. Okay, we're still in a little bit of trouble here. So if we play this on tap, we actually gain mana.
Pretty
How
nice.
can we take damage now? I'm not sure.
We really want to take damage, but we don't really have a way to do that.
There's no way to discard either. I think we're just... God. Fine. I really don't want to. Let's get the one that we just played, so we can just have maximum attackers here. Discover a lackey.
I don't think we need any more hand of gold ends.
I'm going to discover a lackey here. 2 damage is good. Perfectly executed. Look at that. It's as if I've been playing Standard the whole time, all of my life. Are you impressed, chat? Are you?
You're mostly a Battleground streamer these days, so I'm impressed by this level of play.
Okay, well, he had the Galakron, which is great for us. That's his last big push, right? Okay, let's get some lackeys out and play the big boy. There we go, prime it up.
Yeah, like the demons aren't that big. They're like small to medium sized, but that's still like an insane power swing.
Pretty good, yeah. Still pretty good. Right, you can do 5 to everything now.
Still gonna keep something up.
Nope. He's got the hero power.
Just kidding, yeah. I forgot we're facing Galakron.
Ooh.
We can set up for a power turn, but it's just like, are you gonna have enough time to do that?
No, I think we just have to play one and tap and hope we get something that is relevant this turn.
It's not bad. We can play one out.
I only have 10 cards in our deck. We've actually been very aggressive at drawing through the Hand of Gul'dan's. I think if we survive for one of these dormant effects to actually trigger, we'll be just fine. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. It's not going to happen through one giant power turn like we were expecting. But I don't know. I think even if it goes off on like 2 or 3 guys, it's still good enough to maybe stabilize.
Yeah, and I mean the body itself is a 3/3. You can attack with it right away, but it's still pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
And we just need to try to stop ourselves from taking.
Wait, why did he freeze face?
Well, everything's gonna die, I guess.
Oh, I see. It's just trading to everything. If you cast a spell this turn, discover a spell. 3 cost, 3, 4. Okay, pretty strong.
Okay, just tap again, see what we get. 5-1.
Play it all.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the 5-1's not great. It's just going to absorb a hero power, but that means that Kronks has to hit the 3-5, I guess, which is fine. Oh, is that... Oh, if you cast a spell last turn, discover a spell. Okay, so actually it didn't go off when he played it last turn, but it went off this turn because he played the freeze effect last turn. I see. So now I guess we want to kind of dodge a little bit of some spell damage, area of effect type of card, because we are going a bit wide and we kind of need to win off of this.
Yeah, I think a lot of times elementals care a little bit more about the things that you did the previous turn. So this kind of falls in line with that flavor.
Oh.
Well, our Murlocs are going to get buffed.
Wait, what's this? Felfin Navigator, 4 cost, 4/4. Give your other Murlocs +1/+1.
We can draw 3 cards again for 2.
Oh yeah, that's true. Let's do it.
It's not bad. When you rush, you might give us like a little bit back in the game.
A little bit, what do you mean? We're gonna go very much back into the game on this play.
Yeah, I think the taunt is the thing that helps us the most. Keeps us out of range of anything crazy.
I'm not so sure I agree with that, because I think what I want to do is end the game. And if I play this, like, he can't go face with his hero power. If I play that and then draw a bunch of cards next round, we could potentially, like, oh wait, we only have 4 cards left in our deck. That draws a lot of cards. Uh-oh. Okay, Dragon's Pack. That's fine-ish.
Yeah, it's a little scary, but...
A little scary because we're kind of out of cards right now.
Yeah, we don't really want to be casting Hand of Gul'dan into this here, so... so you don't really want to be Soulfire. I guess you can Soulfire into that and just draw the rest of your cards and see what happens.
That's exactly what we're going to do. I'm glad we agreed on this.
Other Soulfire is a little dicey.
What are you talking about? It's easy play. Okay.
I think you trade one and you get your lackeys, yeah?
I don't know how to get those lackeys right now.
You could kill the 4/6 after you trade it. Or you could just kill the 3/3. No, you don't want to kill the 3/3 because you want the 3/3 to trade into his 4/3.
I'm not trading into the 4/3.
I guess, yeah, because you can just leave it up. Oh, wow, you just took the damage. That is... This is a pretty good game we have on our hands. Evasive Worm's pretty good here. Keep that. Going in. You're going to play the 1-mana card?
Yeah, because next turn we're all in. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So... Oh, you're dead, yeah? Yeah, you're dead. Have you taken 1 fatigue yet?
No, I think we're just taking 1 fatigue.
Oh, wow. What? That was pretty sick.
Nerf? Get the Nerf bat!
It's okay, you can honorably kill yourself, so that you can cast the Soulfire, get the Hand of Gul'dan, finish yourself off.
Back online. Here we go. It was... Oh, that comes back? Okay, fine. Just get rid of it.
Has to die again. Well, you drew a lot of cards to Hand of Gul'dan. Hand of Gul'dan, we've seen like the power of it, and then also some of the downside. I love the art too, just Gul'dan sitting there beneath the mountain. Looks really cool.
All right. Well, I don't know if we missed some of the cards from our.
I think we did.
Playing Galakron Shaman. We probably did, because most of the cards that I saw, except for 1 or 2, were just the old Galakron Shaman, right?
I think we missed a couple cards.
So we have Totemic
we got one, yeah.
Reflection. Give a minion +2/+2, and if it's a totem, summon a copy of it. So if it's not a totem, that's not very good. So I guess you just really need to hit a totem with it.
Yeah, and obviously, if you're playing Shaman, which you are because it's a Shaman class card, then it's pretty easy to find yourself a totem with this card. You just hero power.
Yeah. If you have a totem already on the board, it's actually quite good. But if you don't, it's basically 5 mana, like 2/2/4s with an effect. That's okay.
It can be okay, yeah, especially if it's a taunt totem.
But I think if you have a totem that can attack, particularly in like a scrappy zoo game, it's actually very strong. And that's unless we get more cards or totems and actual cards, like totem golem related things, that would obviously be completely insane.
Yeah, also pretty good if we get that.
All right, what else do we have? Oh, that's it. That's just the one. So I guess what we're gonna do is get Chris back in here and wrap this up for you guys.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey,
So,
how's it going?
gentlemen, games. We played games. How did it go? That Hunter game was so quick. I was just like watching off to the side and was like, wow.
Yeah, Hunter can do that. Hunter is pretty aggressive. Tundra Rhino is pretty aggressive. So Hunters can kill their opponents pretty quickly. It's kind of in their style of play.
We saw the cards revealed afterwards, and there was one that does 3 to a minion, and then again to each minion of that type or that tribe. And like every card he played was a beast. We just needed to draw one of those, and probably would have blown him out.
Yeah, Waste Warden could have been good versus that deck.
Just a little. Mr. Kripp, any particular like decks or cards that you noticed from this out of the 40 that that you're like, dude, this looks pretty rad. This looks like something I may need to play on day one.
Even though the Spell Mage kind of got destroyed by the Control Warrior, that might just be a thing with matchups. I am pretty excited to play that type of deck. I feel it's the extreme version of what a lot of us have been wanting to play, where a lot of us want to play these like Spell Slinger Mage decks, but you just have to play some minions. Well, it seems like we're at the point where not only do you not have to play minions, you're actually rewarded for not playing minions. So I'm kind of excited to try that.
Yeah. No, well, it's pretty cool too. I know I saw some folks on Reddit chit-chatting about like Priest and Warrior in particular. I know with Slissa's card reveal the other day, she was like, hey, we haven't seen a lot of the Warrior cards, and for both of those classes, we saw 10 cards each. And so hopefully everybody at home has a chance to, get a little bit more understanding of the power of those classes and just some things that they can theory craft and decks that they can take a look at and stuff. So, pretty awesome gameplay so far, I would say so myself. Gentlemen, before we close it out, did you have anything that you wanted to add or say or plug?
Looking forward to playing. Obviously, us streamers will do our best to stream as much Hearthstone as possible with the pretty aggressive release schedule that Chris has introduced to you guys some time ago. So hype it up. Come and watch us, please. Thank you so much. And we'll do our best to highlight the best parts of the upcoming content.
Yeah, we're just really excited to hear a bunch of the feedback for Demon Hunter. As I talked about a little bit earlier, designing a new class is really difficult, and there's tons and tons of cards out there that are brand new. So we're really looking forward to hearing all the feedback. If there's any changes that we need to make, the new rank system is going to go live pretty soon. So it's a good time to kind of come back and get in there and see some progression, get some new rewards. We're giving away tons and tons of Demon Hunter cards if that's something that really appeals to you. So it's a good reason to come back for that. But outside of that, there's just tons and tons more coming. It's not just this expansion. It's not just Demon Hunter. We got more stuff coming throughout the year. If you're a Battlegrounds player, we got new stuff that's coming for you. So there's all kinds of stuff that's going to be coming in 17.2, 17.4, different patches. So we're excited for this year. We got tons of stuff coming.
Tons of stuff. Yeah, it's going to be good. And speaking of, if we could, just want to recap those dates real quick for everybody at home. Again, I know there's a barrage of information coming at you, not only from this stream, but in general. So again, March 26th, that is tomorrow. We've also got our theory crafting live streams featuring the one and only Kriparian, who you saw here, and many others happening, along with our Priest update. and the Hall of Fame and the duplicate protection. Again, April 1st is the revamp of our rank system, like Dean just talked about. April 2nd is the Demon Hunter Prologue, which will allow you to unlock Demon Hunter, which will then be playable on April 7th, along with Ashes of Outland. So a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. We on the Hearthstone team are super, super jazzed to get this out the door. I know the team, Dean and his team, have been working on Demon Hunter for a super long time and are just super excited to get it out the door. So we hope you all at home are just excited as we are, just as excited as the great community dad of Kripparrian is. And yeah, from all of us on the Hearthstone team, much love. And thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks a lot. Take it easy.